Hello everyone, today we are going to learn Chapter 12 Grassroots Democracy Part 3 Local Government in Urban Areas from your Social Science textbook. In this video, I'll be covering each and every line from the chapter so you don't miss anything important. Make sure to keep your notebook and pen ready and take notes while watching. This will help you remember the concepts better. You can pause or rewind any time to write things down. So, let's begin. First, we have a quote by Rustam K. Sidhwa, Member Constituent Assembly during the Constituent Assembly debates 13 October 1949. I desire that a full-fledged local body should be immediately formed so that people may know really what is an administration, what are the franchise, what are the powers, what are the rights, and what are the privileges in a small sphere, in their own town, in their own villages. So, Rustam K. Sidhwa was a member of the Constituent Assembly which was responsible for framing the Indian Constitution. While speaking in the Constituent Assembly on 13 October 1949, he expressed his views on local governance. He said that strong and complete local bodies should be formed as early as possible. According to him, when people participate in local bodies, they can clearly understand how administration works. He also believed that local bodies help people learn about franchise, which means the right to vote. Along with this, people become aware of their powers, rights, and privileges as citizens. He stressed that people should gain this understanding in a small sphere, that is, in their own towns and villages, where they can directly see and experience how democracy functions. Figure 12.1, the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, originally Bombay Municipal Corporation, was created in 1860. So, the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, which was earlier called the Bombay Municipal Corporation, was established in 1865. This shows that local self-government in cities began during the British period in India. The Municipal Corporation was created to manage important city functions such as water supply, sanitation, roads, health services, and administration. So, this figure highlights that urban local bodies have existed in India for a long time and play an important role in managing large cities like Mumbai. So, the big questions are: what are urban local bodies and what are their functions? Why are they important in governance and democracy? We will find answers for these questions in this chapter. Introduction. Earlier chapters have shown us how in a democracy, good governance aims to empower the citizens so they may actively participate in their country's functioning, whether it is at the rural, regional, urban, state, or national level. This is the broader concept of participatory democracy. So, in the earlier chapters, we learned that in a democracy, the aim of good governance is to empower citizens. Empowerment means giving people the power, rights, and opportunities to take part in decision making. Citizens are encouraged to participate at all levels of governance. Rural level, that is villages; urban level, that is towns and cities; regional and state level, and national level. When people actively take part in running the country at all these levels, it is called participatory democracy. So, participatory democracy means people are not just ruled, but they also take part in governing. We saw the basics of the system in a rural context. Let us now see how it works in an urban scenario. Since the latter is generally more complex and diverse than the former, it is understandable that the urban governance system needs to be more complex. We will, however, limit ourselves here to its basic principles. So, earlier we learnt about how the governance system works in rural areas. Now, we are moving on to understand how the same system works in urban areas such as towns and cities. Urban areas are generally more complex and diverse than rural areas because they have larger populations and many different types of activities. Because of this, the system of urban governance also needs to be more complex. However, in this chapter, we will focus only on the basic principles of how urban governance works and not go into too much detail. Let's explore. Why is a city like Kolkata, Chennai, or Mumbai more complex and diverse than a village or a town? So, compare big cities with villages or small towns. You need to think about why cities like Kolkata, Chennai, or Mumbai are more difficult to manage and have more variety than villages or towns. So, think and focus on population, types of people, activities, services, and administration. Sample answer. Cities like Kolkata, Chennai, or Mumbai are more complex and diverse than villages or towns because they have a very large population living in a small area. People from different regions, languages, religions, and cultures live together. There are many types of economic activities like industries, offices, ports, markets, and services. Cities need many services such as transport, water supply, sanitation, housing, hospitals, and schools. Managing traffic, waste, pollution, and public services is more challenging in cities. Because of these reasons, cities require a more complex system of governance compared to villages or small towns. With your classmates, make a list of diverse communities residing in any city that you are familiar with. How many were you able to list? What else do you observe in the list? So, think about any city you know well and list the different communities living there. Communities can be different based on language, religion, region, occupation, and culture. After making the list, the question is also asking you to count how many communities you could identify and observe what is common or special about this list. For example, diversity, coexistence, or variety. So, the aim is to understand how cities are diverse and multicultural. Sample answer. In a city like Chennai, for example, many diverse communities live together. Some of them are people speaking different languages such as Hindi, Tamil, Bengali, Marathi, English, etc. Communities following different religions like Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, and others. People working in different occupations such as factory workers, office employees, shopkeepers, artists, and professionals, etc. People who have migrated from different states and regions of India. From the list, I observe that cities are very diverse and people from different backgrounds live and work together. This shows that cities bring together people with different cultures, languages, and lifestyles, making them more complex and vibrant. Before we explore governance and administration in urban areas, it helps to take an overall look at the Indian system of governance from rural to national as depicted in figure 12.2 on page 175. The base of the pyramid is the local level closer to the people, while the top is the national level. In chapter 11, we explored the left side of the pyramid. We will now take a look at the right side. So, before we begin learning about governance and administration in urban areas, it is useful to understand the entire system of governance in India. The system shown in figure 12.2 on page 175 explains governance from the local level to the national level. So, here the Indian system of governance is shown in the form of a pyramid. The base level represents the local level which is closest to the people. On the left side is the rural local level which we already learned in Chapter 11, which has Panchayati Raj institutions such as Gram Sabha, Gram Panchayat at the village level, Panchayat Samiti at the block level, Zilla Panchayat at the district level. On the right side is the urban local level, which has urban local bodies such as people of the ward, ward committee, municipal corporation, municipal council or city council or Nagar Panchayat. Above the local level is the state government and at the top of the pyramid is the union government at the national level. Let's explore. In figure 12.2 above, what similarities and differences do you notice between the Panchayati Raj system and the urban local government? So, you need to compare two systems shown in figure 12.2. The Panchayati Raj system, that is for rural areas, and the urban local government, which is for towns and cities. You need to look at what is common between them, that is similarities, and how they are different from each other. So, the similarities are Both are part of the local level of governance, which is closest to the people. Both systems allow people's participation in decision making. Both have elected representatives and both work for local development and public services. Differences: the Panchayati Raj system functions in rural areas while urban local government functions in towns and cities. Panchayati Raj includes Gram Sabha, Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and Zilla Panchayat. And urban local bodies include people of the ward, ward committee, municipal corporation or municipal council or city council, which is also called Nagar Panchayat. Then rural governance mainly deals with village related issues, while urban governance handles more complex city related issues. Urban local bodies. Local government structures in urban areas are called urban local bodies. They are decentralized, which means that instead of operating under a central authority or at the top, the local communities have a direct say on how their areas are managed or the issues they face. It is a mechanism for citizens living in an area to come together and take decisions about what is best for them. So, the urban local bodies are the systems of local government in towns and cities. They help in managing city level matters such as roads, water supply, sanitation and public services. These bodies are decentralized. This means power is not only with the central or state government. Instead, local people and their elected representatives can take decisions about their own area. Urban local bodies give citizens a direct say in how their neighborhoods are managed and how local problems are solved. This means urban local bodies allow people living in a city or town to take part in decisions about their own area. Through elected representatives like ward members or municipal councilors, citizens can share their problems, needs and suggestions. These bodies help manage neighborhood issues like water supply, roads, garbage collection, cleanliness, street lights and drainage. When citizens report problems or participate in meetings, it becomes easier to solve local issues quickly and effectively. They provide a platform where people can come together, discuss issues and decide what is best for their community. Cities and towns are divided into smaller units called wards, and the ward committees facilitate activities such as conducting health camps, organizing a campaign against the use of single-use plastics and so on. They also keep an eye on anything that might go wrong, a water leak, a blocked drain, a damaged road, etc. and report such problems to the authorities. However, the precise functioning of wards differs from state to state depending on the rules they make. So, cities and towns are divided into smaller areas called wards so that local administration becomes easier. Each ward has a ward committee and the ward committee helps in organizing local activities such as conducting health camps, running awareness campaigns, for example, against single-use plastics. Ward committees also monitor local problems in their area. They look out for issues like water leaks, blocked drains, damaged or broken roads. When they notice such problems, they report them to the concerned authorities so that action can be taken. However, the exact role and working of ward committees is not the same everywhere. Their functioning differs from state to state because each state makes its own rules for urban local bodies. Altogether, urban local bodies are responsible for a range of functions, helping take care of the infrastructure, maintaining the burial ground, garbage collection and disposal, checking the implementation of government schemes, collecting local taxes and fines, and so on. They also have some role in planning for the area's economic and social development. So, urban local bodies take care of many important day-to-day needs of a city or town. They are responsible for maintaining basic infrastructure such as roads, street lights and drainage systems. They also look after public services including maintenance of burial and cremation grounds, garbage collection and proper disposal. Urban local bodies ensure that government schemes are properly implemented at the local level. They also collect local taxes and fines which are used for development and public services. In addition to these duties, they play a role in planning the economic and social development of the area, such as improving living conditions and supporting local growth. However, for these bodies to be able to perform their functions efficiently, people living in the city must also perform their duties, which means that they must show care and concern for their area. Remember, this is a participatory democracy. For instance, if people carefully follow instructions regarding waste segregation, garbage collection becomes easier. Or if they notice a water leakage in a street, reporting it promptly will prevent further wastage of precious water. So, urban local bodies can work properly only when citizens also do their part. In a participatory democracy, people do not just vote but actively help in managing their surroundings. For example, when people separate wet and dry waste at home, garbage collection becomes easier and cleaner. Similarly, if citizens quickly report problems like leaking water pipe, it helps save water and prevent bigger damage. So, good city management is possible only when local authorities and citizens work together. Let's explore. Can you think of 4 or 5 more actions that responsible citizens might take to help their area of the city? So, you need to think about your role as a citizen in the city. We have learned that urban local bodies work better when people also cooperate and do their duties. Now, instead of the government alone doing everything, what ordinary people like us can do to help our neighborhood or city area? Think about small actions you can take in your daily life that help keep the city clean, safe, and well managed. Based on this, write 4 or 5 actions that responsible citizens should follow. So, sample answer. First one, keep public areas clean by not littering on roads, parks, or bus stops. Save water and electricity by turning off taps, lights, and fans when not in use. Report civic problems like broken street lights, potholes, or overflowing garbage bins to the local authorities. Follow traffic rules to ensure safety for everyone and reduce accidents. Participate in community activities such as cleanliness drives, tree plantation programs, or health camps. These actions may seem small, but together they help make the city cleaner, safer, and better to live in. The Madras Corporation, now Greater Chennai Corporation, established on 29 September 1688, is the oldest municipal institution in India. The East India Company issued a charter that previous year constituting the town of Fort St. George and all territories within 16 km from the fort into a corporation. A parliamentary act of 1792 gave the Madras Corporation power to levy municipal taxes in the city, which is when the municipal administration properly began. So, the Madras Corporation, which we know now as the Greater Chennai Corporation, was set up in 1688. It is the oldest municipal institution in India. Even before it was officially started, the East India Company issued a charter in 1687. Charter means an official written document that gives permission, rights, or powers to a person or an organization or an institution. This charter made Fort St. George and nearby areas up to 16 kilometers part of one corporation. Later, in 1792, a law passed by the British Parliament allowed the Madras Corporation to collect taxes from people. To levy means to impose or collect a tax, fee, or fine. Once it got the power to collect taxes, the city's municipal administration started functioning properly, managing civic services like roads, sanitation, and public facilities. Think about it. Indore in Madhya Pradesh has been awarded the cleanest city in India under the Swachh Sarvekshan government scheme for 7 years in a row. What could have been the role of Indore citizens in this achievement? So, Indore has been declared the cleanest city in India for 7 years in a row under the Swachh Sarvekshan scheme. So, the question is, how the citizens of Indore may have helped in achieving this success through their actions and behavior. It is not only the government or the municipal corporation that keeps a city clean. Citizens also have an important role to play through their daily habits, cooperation, and sense of responsibility. Sample answer. The citizens of Indore must have played an important role in this achievement by following proper waste segregation, that is, separating wet and dry waste at home, not throwing garbage on roads or in public places, cooperating with the municipal workers and garbage collectors, using dustbins and keeping their homes and neighborhoods clean, participating in cleanliness drives and awareness programs, reporting problems like garbage piles or blocked drains to the authorities. Because citizens acted responsibly and worked together with the local government, Indore was able to remain the cleanest city in India for many years. As we see, Chennai and Indore have a municipal corporation at the top of their urban bodies. Only cities with a population about 10 lakhs have a municipal corporation, also called Mahanagar Nigam, as their highest body. Between 1 and 10 lakhs, the highest body is a municipal council, also called Nagar Palika. Cities and towns with smaller populations have a Nagar Panchayat. So, cities and towns in India are governed by urban local bodies, but not all cities have the same type of local government. The type of urban local body depends mainly on the population size of the city or town. Municipal corporation or Mahanagar Nigam, found in big cities like Chennai and Indore. These cities have a population of more than 10 lakh people. It is the highest urban local body for large cities. Municipal Council, also called Nagar Palika, found in medium-sized towns and cities. Population is between 1 lakh and 10 lakh. It manages town-level services and administration. Nagar Panchayat, found in small towns, and population is less than 1 lakh. So, in short, more than 10 lakh population, it has municipal corporation, and 1 to 10 lakh population, it has municipal council, and less than 1 lakh population, it has Nagar Panchayat. This system helps the government manage cities and towns according to their size and needs. Let's explore. Select a few cities from your state and from a few neighboring states. These may include the city you live in or the city nearest to your town or village. How will you find out if they have a Nagar Panchayat, municipal council or municipal corporation? Draw a table with the names of the cities and the type of urban local body each of them has. So you already know that big cities have a municipal corporation, medium cities have a municipal council or Nagar Palika, small towns have a Nagar Panchayat. Now, you have to choose a few cities from your state and choose a few cities from neighboring states. Find out which type of urban local body each city has. Present your answer neatly in a table. So, how will you find this information? You can find out by checking the official website of the city or municipality, looking at government or municipal office boards, asking teachers, parents or local officials, or reading newspapers or government portals. So here is the sample answer for these questions. You can change the cities according to your state and nearby states. How do urban local bodies fund their activities? Hint, look carefully at the pictures of the functions performed by Indore Municipal Corporation in figure 12.4 on page 178, or some of them paid services. Figure 12.4, services under the Indore Municipal Corporation. It looks after the basic services like collecting property tax and water charges, solid waste management, and giving licenses for businesses, hoardings, and trade. Hoardings are large display boards or signboards. Companies use hoardings to promote products or services. Local governments give permission, that is licenses, to put up hoardings and may charge a fee for them. CRM means Citizen Relationship Management. So, through CRM, people can get important services such as marriage certificates, fire services, various licenses, water tanker, debris clearance, tree cutting and tree transportation, and can also register complaints or grievances. Finally, CRM services on request, which citizens can use whenever needed. These include water tanker, septic tanker, auditorium, funeral van, mobile toilet, and ambulance. All these services show how the municipal corporation works closely with citizens to meet their daily needs and improve city life. Now think about from where urban local bodies get money to run the city and provide services. Sample answer. Urban local bodies fund their activities through taxes, fees and service charges collected from citizens. They collect money in the following ways: property tax paid by house and landowners, water charges for water supply, trade, business and hoarding license fees, fines and local taxes, charges for services provided on request. And yes, some services are paid services, such as water tanker service, septic tank cleaning, ambulance service, funeral van service, auditorium booking, debris cleaning, issuing certificates like marriage certificates. Now, let us read a short conversation between Samir and Anita to understand how life and governance are different in villages and cities. Samir: hello, I haven't seen you around here before. Are you new to this village? Anita: hello. Yes, I'm visiting my grandparents who live nearby. I'm from the city. It's quite different from here. So in this conversation, Samir and Anita are meeting for the first time. Samir lives in the village, so when he sees Anita, he politely asks her if she is new to the village. This shows how people in villages often know each other. So Anita replies that she is new to the village, but she is visiting her grandparents who live nearby. She also mentions that she is from the city and feels that village life is very different from city life. Samir says, oh really? What's it like in the city? So Samir wants to know how life there is different from village life. Now Anita says, well, it's busy and crowded with tall buildings everywhere. There are so many people rushing around all the time and it's noisy compared to the quietness here. Also, people are more independent and often don't even know their neighbors. So Anita is describing the city life. She says that cities are busy and crowded with many tall buildings. There are a lot of people moving around, which makes cities noisy compared to villages, which are usually quiet. Anita also explains that in cities, people are more independent. This means they mostly mind their own work and often do not know their neighbors, but unlike in villages where people usually know each other and share close relationships. Samir says, wow, here everyone knows everyone else and pitches in to help each other out. We work together in the fields, celebrate festivals together, and even make decisions as a community. So now Samir is explaining life in the village. He says that in villages, people know each other well and are closely connected. Everyone is willing to help one another whenever needed. Samir gives examples of how villages work together. They work together in the fields, they celebrate festivals together, they take decisions as a community. So this shows that village life is based on cooperation, sharing and collective decision making. So now Anita says, well, there is still some sense of community in the city. Just the other day, following heavy rains, a house collapsed 2 streets away. Dozens of people gathered from all over the place to help clear the rubble and make sure no one was trapped inside. So now Anita explains that even in cities, people do come together during emergencies. She gives an example of heavy rains, after which a house collapsed nearby. When this happened, many people gathered from different areas to help. They worked together to clear the rubble and to check that no one was trapped inside the damaged house. Now Samir asks, doesn't the local government help in such cases? So now Samir wants to know the role of local government during emergencies. Anita replies, yes, it does. In fact, we have local bodies and elected representatives who represent us and our interest. So Anita says that local government does help in such situations. She explains that in cities, there are local bodies that look after people's needs. These local bodies have elected representatives, which means the people choose them through elections. These representatives speak for the citizens and work to protect their interest and welfare, especially during emergencies or problems. Samir says, well, it sounds like our village panchayat, only bigger. Members are elected too, but because they all know each other, a lot more people can participate and discuss all kinds of issues that concern the village. Sometimes even us kids can get heard. Here, Samir is comparing the city's local government with the village panchayat. He says that the city system sounds similar to the panchayat, but it is bigger in size. Just like in cities, members of the panchayat are also elected. Samir explains that because villages know each other personally, more people are able to participate in discussions about village issues. Decisions are discussed openly and everyone gets a chance to speak. He also mentions that even children can sometimes express their views. Anita says, "Really? You're not making that up?" Anita sounds surprised and a little doubtful. She asks this question to check whether Samir is telling the truth or not. Samir says, "Not at all. The other day, a few kids noticed that an electricity wire was hanging dangerously low, almost touching the roof of our building. Not only did we report it, but we explained to one of our Gram Sabha members that an electric post should be shifted a little. And it was done." So now, Samir strongly says that he is telling the truth. He gives a real-life example to prove it. A group of children noticed that an electricity wire was hanging very low and was dangerous as it was almost touching the roof of a building. The children did two important things. They reported the problem, they explained the issue to a Gram Sabha member. Because of this, the local authority took action and the electric post was shifted to make the area safe. Now Anita says, "Great, I suppose that's how democracy should work. It seems more complicated in the city, but the idea is the same. Everyone's voice matters." Anita agrees with Samir and appreciates how the village system works. She says that this is how democracy should function. People should be able to raise issues and get them solved. Anita also points out that in cities, the system is more complicated because there are more people and larger areas. However, even though the structure is big, the basic idea remains the same. That idea is that every citizen's voice is important, whether in a village or in a city. Samir: "Yes, it does. Sorry, I must make a move. My mother needs my help for a little shopping. Thanks for telling me about the city." So, Samir agrees with Anita that democracy works on the same idea everywhere. People's voices matter. He then politely ends the conversation because he has to leave. He says that his mother needs his help for some shopping. And Samir thanks Anita for sharing her experiences about city life. Now Anita says, "And thanks for telling me about your village. I'm definitely going to look around." Anita thanks Samir for telling her about village life and village governance. She also says that she will look around the village, which means she wants to see and understand the village better. Now Samir says, "Well, maybe we will meet again sometime. Bye." So Samir ends the conversation in a friendly and polite way. Before we move on, in urban areas, decentralized governance works through different urban local bodies, which fulfill various functions affecting the citizens' lives. This means that in cities, the work of governance is not done by one central authority alone. Instead, it is shared with different urban local bodies. These bodies take care of many important functions such as water supply, roads, sanitation, waste management, and other services that directly affect the daily lives of citizens. Decentralized means power and decision making are shared, not kept with one single authority. As with the rural context, urban local bodies have elected members who represent the local citizens. So just like in villages, urban local bodies also have elected members. These members are chosen by the people through elections. Their job is to represent the citizens, listen to their problems, and take decisions for the welfare of the area. The citizens also have duties to ensure that the local bodies are able to perform their functions efficiently. So, urban local bodies can work properly only when citizens also do their duties. Citizens must cooperate, follow rules, and care for their surroundings so that local bodies can perform their work efficiently. For example, if people segregate waste properly, pay taxes on time, report problems like water leaks or broken roads, then local bodies can manage the city better. So with this, we have completed the chapter Grassroots Democracy Part 3 Local Government in Urban Areas. I hope you found it easy to understand. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. We will see you again in our next video. Bye bye.